Stuart, did you even know I was back there? Yeah. Okay, so I'm having so much fun today. This is, I've lost count. This is like segment 3 or segment 4 or segment 5 of a day in the garden, being a fly on my shoulder and things that I tackle when I have all sorts of time to tackle them. So it's still morning and I've already gotten a lot of stuff done and I'm getting ready to prune this area. So let me first of all show you some of the things I'm going to do and what my tool of choice for this is. I just got some new Centurion pruners. I really like these. They are pretty substantial and they can cut through, I think, 1 3/4 inches diameter, but they're perfect for the things that I'm doing today, which is cutting back some juniper branches and also doing a little bit more pruning on this Woodgelia. So they'll be perfect for that. But the other things that I'm doing, I thought I would, let me just show you a few plants, what they're doing now, what they'll do in the future, and what things about this area that I plan to change next year. So first of all, look at these gorgeous dahlias. Now I did a video and I'll put a link below to planting these Brex dahlias, and they're really beautiful. And I do love their color and they're perfect for autumn. They're absolutely gorgeous. Did you get a close-up of those, Stuart? So they're really beautiful. But what I would probably do differently next year is I will dig these up and I'll save these tubers. But in this area, I kind of don't like the way they look with this rebloom on this rubies and gold Woodgelia and with this small crepe myrtle here. So I think I'll probably plant them someplace else next year, maybe in the potager border, and do another color. Obviously they're very happy here, so I'll probably do another color of dahlias next year. I also want to point out I think one of the most maligned plants out there, and that is Barberry. This stuff is tough, you guys. It has great spring, summer, and fall color. This is an orange rocket right here. This is just a standard golden Barberry. I can clip it and prune it pretty hard if I want to, but I can also leave it to be kind of a more free form, and it looks really beautiful against the boxwood, I think. It also makes great cut foliage. So in line with my thinking of never planting something that I can't use in the vase. Also, these are really wonderful and they turn even more beautiful as fall progresses. Now, in one of my previous videos today, I talked about a garden cheat and how you can give instant maturity to your garden. Well, here is another garden cheat. So I wanted a tall boxwood here, a tall evergreen here, and obviously it would take quite a while to get one mature enough to reach this height. So what did I do? I had an extra, this is a faux terracotta pot that can overwinter beautifully, and I just planted a big boxwood in here and I had instant height. And if you go back and look at some of my other videos, you may see that this was one of 2 conical boxwoods, green mound boxwoods or green mountain boxwoods that were at the entrance to the potager. And I did not discard them after I dug them up. I put one in here and I love the way it looks. So many of you, this is an FAQ question answered. So many of you have asked about this Arbor Vitae and what it is. Well, Arbor Vitae is just a very common evergreen. This, when I planted it, I would say maybe 15 years ago, I planted 3 of these. And when I planted them, they were each about this tall. I think they started out as gallon sizes. They were golden Arbor Vitaes that were supposedly dwarf. Well, never really believe what the plant tag says, because over time they grew and grew. I removed 2 of them and kept this one, and then I just kept pruning it up, and I love the bark on it. I'm really into tree form and bark and branches and trunks right now, in addition to foliage. And I just love the way this one has matured over time. I've got a little bit of dead wood up in there that I need to clip out, and I've got some neighbor's wisteria that's starting to grow in there, and I need to remedy that as well. But it is absolutely gorgeous. I love its fronds in the winter time. It just is really, let me cut one. I love the delicacy of it. I love just tucking it in a bowl with apples or pomegranates or something. It makes an easy centerpiece, easy arrangement for the winter time. So I really love that. Now let me show you some other things that are going on back here. This is a way to get a touch of a garden ornament and some garden lighting on this lattice work. Now the lattice work is just a frame of lattice that was attached to the fence with just a spacer, just a block, a spacer, and then we put finials on top. So it looks really nice even without anything growing on it. At one time there was a really large clematis that scaled practically the entirety of the profile of this lattice work. But clematis just isn't really long-lived, and over time it just kind of bit the dust, and I was sad to see it go, but other things came up and are beautiful in its place. So then, because I wanted to have a way to kind of illuminate this area at night, and as soon as we can get our act together, Stuart and I are going to do a nighttime tour of the garden. I keep promising that, and then we still haven't done it. Stuart, get on it. I found these at Goodwill. They just have a hook on them, and then they've got some kind of platform. And in the evenings, when I want to inject a little bit of softness and candlelight back here, I just put a couple of votive candles on here, votive lights, and I have a little flicker back here in the garden. I think these were maybe $1.50 a piece. So it's a brilliant way to reuse, recycle, and repurpose. And then back in here where I was hiding and scared Stuart was there is a juniper topiary that's back in here. Now this started out as a 3-ball topiary, and I just could never find the right place for it. And even now it's hidden behind this Weigela, but I don't mind so much because when this deciduous shrub loses its leaves in the wintertime, it will be a perfect round topiary, winter evergreen topiary that will be beautiful this winter, especially when snow falls on it. And so I'm clipping this into shape right now so it will get that exact round spherical form that I want. And I'm also doing some pruning on this Gertrude Jekyll rose out here. I'm not sure what its long-term prospects are. It's getting more and more shady back in here, so I'm not really sure. So that's kind of what's going on in this neck of the woods, or this neck of the garden. I've got some dahlias and some beautiful barberry, and I've got some more work to do. So I'm going to finish pruning this juniper. I appreciate your attention, and I guess we'll move on to my next task, whatever that should be, on this wonderful day of working in the garden.